Hello. Welcome back to SARS Football Corner. Welcome back to another live stream, another show, another video on the channel. We are here for another episode of the Gooner Lounge. It's a packed one. You know what I mean? It's a full house right now. It's a full house in the building, man. Big ups to everybody that is tuned in. Big ups to everybody that is watching on replay. Make sure you are smashing the like button. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell notification so you're notified every time we go live. Big ups to everybody that is watching live at the moment. I am joined. They're all main men, bro. They're all the main characters in this world. You know what I mean? And then we're just living in their world at the moment. Do you know what I mean? But big ups to my fellow Gooners in the building. Big up to Ola, debut on the channel. Big up to yourself, my brother. Big up,
man. Thank you so much for the invite, man. We couldn't make the debut earlier because it's always clashing with my work time. But yeah, very happy to be here with all the other guys on here, man. Salute to every one of you. I respect everybody around here. Let's get it. Let's do it.
Nah, big up, man. Big up. Big up to Connor. Obviously, you've seen him. He's here, there, and everywhere doing a madness. Big up to Martin, of course. Bro, this guy everywhere, bro. Causing trouble, getting people angry. Do you know what I mean? It's just all of the day's work for Martin, man. He just, you know what I mean? He just says one thing and then all of the chats.
I didn't do shit.
I've seen Martin in chats here just say one thing. All of a sudden, people are just getting angry for no reason, bro. It's so easy. It's so easy for him, bro. I need to learn. Big up to Dio as well. Of course, another one that seems to say one word and then people get angry all of a sudden. Also well known for his battles with Ches in Rivals Rumble. They're going at each other every single day. Big up to T in the building again with his camera on. Big up to him, my brother out here, man. He's going to be speaking to us about a certain Yilmaz, giving us a little scoop on what's going on, whether it's true or not. And the reason why we're late today, people, yeah, I have to do it. I don't care because he's always out in me and then dragging me through the coals like as if I'm the bad guy. Yeah, I'm not the bad guy. Do you know what I mean? I'm the good guy, bro. But instead, he wants to make me look bad. And this is what's happening. This is the reality of the situation on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Some people they just want to see a downfall, bro. And unfortunately, Hooks wants to see my downfall, bro. So now I have to see his downfall. This is the reason why we're late, mate. Yeah. What do you have to say for yourself, Hooks? By the way, big up to you, of course. I'm not gonna do you dirty on the intro. Big up to Hooks, the main man himself, Havertz protector, and yeah, all of that good stuff. What do you have to say for yourself, brother?
So, factually incorrect. Actually, factually partly incorrect. Because I turned up in the backstage at 9:01. I was ready to go from 9:01. Yeah. So there's about 7 to 8 minutes where it had absolutely nothing to do with me why we're late. So why we was actually late is because Saad was all there talking in the background about not knowing Morocco players, not knowing UFC fighters. By the way,
first of all, it was Galatasaray players, not even Morocco players.
How his screen was mashed up because he had it in the boot and there was some ice spray that smashed it up, and you get me. So I got here. There you go. See, this is how you know.
Get up to the computer screen, man. R.I.P.
I'm why we're 1 minute late, but Saad is why we are another 9 minutes late.
I think he's got his. I think he's
listen. But why? Do you know what actually makes it funny? Do you know what actually makes it funny? Because some people won't know in the chat, but we're obviously all in the group chat. Every time we do a show, Hooks is always the early one. He actually takes a picture of him being early in the studio every single time. So, you know, by smacking the arse now and then.
The moral of the story is don't commit no crimes with Hooks. He will tell you out.
Hey, he's gone, bro. He's gonna be walking out of there with a Big Mac meal, bro, and a drink, bro. I'm there for trial, bro.
I thought you had this, man. Hooks just took you apart. This is courtroom. Yeah. This is courtroom 101.
It was a setup.
This is courtroom 101. He literally agreed that he's 1 minute late, and they casted 9 minutes on your head. So explain yourself, Sad. Why were we 9 minutes late?
You know what, man? questions, and then I have to give explanations. You know what I mean? I can't leave without giving explanations for people. But Hooks, on the other hand, was 1 minute late. So already for the crime that he's being prosecuted against, he already admitted to it, bro.
Yeah.
So he already
I'm an
took the
honest man.
He
I'm
took
an
the
honest
chance.
man.
So fair enough for him. But for me, listen, I thought, while we're here, they started asking me questions. You know what I mean? So technically, everybody else's fault that we're all late as well because they started asking me questions. Listen, if we're all, if he's throwing me in front of the bus, bro, I'm gonna have to take a few man with me, bro. I'm gonna have to take a few with me.
Down with me.
Bro, I'm gonna have to take, bro. Listen, if the Titanic, bro, the Titanic's going down, bro. We might as well just all start. You know what I mean? Going down, bro. But anyway, listen, I big up to the whole squaddy. Anyway, we are here, man, for another Gooner Lounge, the biggest, bro. It's the best show, man. It's the best Arsenal show, bro. Honestly, I don't care, man. I'm saying it right now, bro. We are here, man. And we are here to talk transfers. We are here to talk transfers. We are here to talk about the Merino deal. We're here to talk about the Nketiah deal, it being off or on still. Also going to be talking about Osimhen and talking about Victor Gyokeres. We are going to be talking about Yilmaz and let me just get his name correct before I go crazy and flop it. His name is where is it? Gabriel Carvalho is apparently a player that we're signing for 25 million euros. Wherever that 25 million euros has just come from, we're signing him apparently for 25 million euros. So we're going to be getting into that as well and speaking about all of these transfers. But like I said, make sure you are smashing the like button and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Hooks, you've got your hand up, my brother. So I'm guessing you're going to start us off. Go ahead, my brother.
I just want to say something. Yeah. So for about 28 years, yeah, every single season, I've begun the season with a smile in it. Some would say I'm quite the optimistic, positive fan. Some would say this. I call it realism. Others call it being too positive. I hear it. But needless to say, every season I've always started with a smile. This may be the first season that I start the season with no smile and just pain in my heart. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. So every single day of this transfer window, I've said a prayer to the Most High. I've said, however you can, please help out my club, Arsenal, get rid of Eddie Nketiah. Do you know what the Most High did? The Most High said, don't worry, Reese. Whoops. Don't worry, Hooked. I've got you. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out. Yeah. What I'm gonna do, yeah, is I'm gonna make Marseille bid 27 million euros for Eddie Nketiah. Do you know what Arsenal did? Arsenal said, oh no. Most High, we don't want your help. We're gonna F this up because we're not selling Eddie Nketiah, who's only in his entire life scored 19 Premier League goals. We want 30 million pounds for him. Why? And then do you know what they also did? They went, you know what, yeah, Reese, we know that you really want Victor Gyokeres, yeah. And we're pissing about with money, yeah. We're trying to handle down Sporting Lisbon below their release clause. But you know what? We've got a magical 25 million euros. Just pull it out from nowhere to sign someone that nobody in their life has ever heard of, seen, watched, or anything. So let's see what happens, innit? Let's see what maybe Friday, Connor. Maybe Friday.
Season starts under 2 weeks, boys. Just let you know. Starts in under 2 weeks. One player.
But so I guess
it's all right. It's all right, guys.
I guess we're starting.
No. So hold on. So season starts in 2 weeks. Just like Tomiyasu came on the last day of the previous season. Like we've had players come on the last day. So I'm not even bothered until the season starts because I've seen. And here's the thing about it, right? Whether we keep Eddie or we get rid of him, I don't care as long as we buy a striker. That's my point. Like my thing is, I don't care if you want to have Eddie playing with under 12s. Do you understand? Like I don't care. My thing is just buy a striker. And I will not say anything about the transfer window until the first kick of the ball of the season. That's when I'll know exactly what we have.
I think the real story is Hooks. It's not Eddie, because Hooks is going on this like evil turn, and
we love it.
You know,
we
I
love
don't
it.
want to.
We want it.
I
We
don't
want
want
more.
to see.
No, I mean, like, hey, to each their own, man. I just know for a fact that I didn't think we were even. Did we even know we're getting Tomiyasu when we got Tomiyasu? None of us knew who Tomiyasu was. Hold on. No. It matters because Hooks timing. We got listen. Let me tell you why it matters. It matters because we got him on the last day of the season before the last second of the clock. So my point is, I won't criticize anything they're doing right now until that very time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because at that time, if on the night of the last day of the transfer window they bring in Gyokeres, everything you said right now just makes you look even way more stupid. I will criticize them. I will criticize them on the 31st. I'm saying, listen, hear me out again. I'm not saying you can't. Listen, I'm not saying you can't have your opinion.
You said way more stupid, which means you already think I sound stupid.
No. Because no. Here's the thing, and I don't listen. Here's my thing, and here's why I say that. It's like me trying to judge food that they're cooking in the kitchen when they've not finished it and I haven't tasted it. I'm like, I just don't like the smell of the corn. Like that's not how it works. That's me being silly. That's me assuming. I'm gonna wait till the last
let me ask you this then. So
when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
What's the point of journalists then? What's the point of journalists? What's the point of them reporting on news?
The point of journalists. Okay, let me answer that question. And the point of journalists is just to report what the situation of things are right now, but not to make a final judgment. Making the final judgment is different from reporting what is. What is that right now Arsenal wants 3 million more. Marseille says no, we don't have 3 million. We don't know what happens tomorrow. Marseille just made another sale and just made some money. They could turn around tomorrow and be like, okay, you know what? Fair enough. Here's the 3 million with a buyout clause. Things change. Like I said, for me, if I hear a report today, it doesn't mean it's the final report because we've seen things change in 24 hours. That's my opinion. So yeah.
You know how you mentioned like Tomiyasu, like, and it was true. He was last minute. You know, you also last minute signings we made that no one knew about. Matt Ryan, that came out of nowhere in the January transfer window. But these are like, in no disrespect to those players, not mediocre. Like not. Listen, I like Matt Ryan. I wish actually Matt Ryan stayed at Arsenal because I actually really liked his loan spell here, and I like Tomiyasu as well. He's a good defender. But that's like the mid caliber of player. I feel like when you're looking
careful what you say about Tomiyasu now, Connor.
Oh yeah, I know he's your boy. I'll relax. But you know, when we're looking for that, you know, like you say, though, you want like that top level striker. I want that as well. I don't think Arsenal would just randomly do like a Gyokeres or an Osimhen just in 24 hours. I think this would be something that would be reported on and would be told about for a long extended period of time. Like, don't forget when Thomas Partey was signed for Arsenal, this was a thing that happened throughout the whole window, you know, and I'd be very shocked if Arsenal signed a 70+ million striker in under 24 hours.
We've been linked to Gyokeres for the last month. Like, it's been on and off. My point is maybe they're working on it. Or because they're not because they're not giving out any information, journalists are not having consistent streams of information to put out. So in this week they hear Gyokeres, they're like, all right, great. And then Arsenal and you know Sporting are doing their thing behind the doors, asking, okay, we break it, and they're not giving out more information. Journalists don't want to recycle the same old information, so it seems like the links are gone. But the links aren't gone.
There's a bigger point here.
The links aren't gone.
No, we want our club to sell players for a lot of money, right?
I was going to talk about this, man. But
we want them to go for what they're worth. We don't want to just get rid of our crap for like, because we've been doing that for like decades. We're just really shit at selling. Shit. Now look what happened with Conor Gallagher less than 24 hours ago. The deal was off. Everyone was like, "Oh, Chelsea, you're idiots," and then bam,
40 million.
back on, and he's sold a second later, right? So I think we've got to play hardball. It's going to suck. I think only way club gets away with this is if they've got a better offer for Eddie, and they don't want to do it. Maybe they don't want to sell.
I'll give you an example, Martin, to back you up. Right, we hear that Chelsea is going for Samuel Omorodion. Nobody knows who this guy is for 40 million, and you're telling me that Eddie Nketiah should not be worth 30 at least. Like for me, at the end of the day, like I said, if we want to sell our players for the value, I respect that. My thing is whether or not you get the value for Eddie or not, get me another striker. Bottom line, get me another striker. Sure. If you get me another striker, if you want to sell Eddie for $2, please. If you want to sell Eddie to me to come work for Dio in his house here, do that. I'll buy him. Like, I don't care. You see what I'm saying? Like, but my point is, we can't eat our cake and have it. That's the problem I noticed with a lot of Arsenal fans. We want Eddie to go, but we also will blame Edu if he sells him at 20 million. Oh, he didn't sell him at the right value.
I wouldn't. I
Like,
really
no. But most people do. Most people do. Most people do.
This is the thing with me, and I've been battling.
Yeah,
I didn't even think
I
didn't even think that I'll be battling people about this, right? I didn't even think I'll be battling people about this. But for me, it's more of a case of we have a reputation to build, because our reputation in the market is in tatters. People disrespect us every single season, right? That we go in the market. They come and try and take our players for nothing. People like other clubs is seeing us tear up 12 contracts, maybe even more, right? And they know our players weren't worth nothing. And this is the reputation that we're going into the market with. So if we're trying to rebuild this reputation and show people that show other clubs that we're serious, right? This Eddie, the way we're dealing with Eddie, I think is the right way to go. Stand your ground, stand with your valuation. Because for me, if you go to Tony Bloom, and this is just Brighton, with a pound less for one of his players that he set a price on, he'll tell you where to go. We've seen it, right? So if we're here now saying, all right, you know what, take Eddie for the price you want to take him, not the price that we've set, not the price that we're happy with. What happens down the line when we really want to sell one of our big stars, big money stars?
Which is true.
People just gonna come through and want to give us some stupid amount
peanuts,
of money.
Yeah. Did you watch the Edu interview? With this interview that he just did with these guys. What's their name again? They do content as well.
It's a podcast or something.
The podcast, TV.
No, not EFTV, not EFTV. Men in Suits or something. Men in Suits or something like. Anyway, Edu's interview.
Men in Blazers.
Men in Blazers. Sorry, Men in Blazers.
We got Men in Blazers.
Yeah. Edu's interview. He talked about when Arteta first came in, when him and Arteta first came in, and the reason they got rid of Ozil, the reason they got rid of a lot of these players, he says they were on high wages. Nobody wanted to buy them from us. They were costing the club a lot. Like, we had players. He said, listen, when we decided that we were going to start afresh, it was for the long-term thing. And that long-term, the fans were never going to understand it. If Arsenal buys another striker and keeps Nketiah, right, and they just keep him as a sub of the sub, and he never gets to play, that's moving big. I don't care. You've basically just replaced him, and you said this is the value we want for him. If next year you feel like, okay, you know what, you have outlived your contract, your value is not too much. I would rather keep him, bring another striker in. Like, for me, at the end of the day, we have to build both ends, which is on the selling end,
and the other thing as well, Dio,
and the reputation end
is, I don't know why people are saying Eddie ain't worth 30 million. Like, this is what is worth to the club. Why are people saying he ain't worth 30? All right. Aston
Villa striker that they wanted to buy, that Chelsea wanted to buy. The Aston Villa striker, what's his name again? That guy number 2. Yeah.
Ollie
how much?
Watkins.
Not Ollie Watkins, Duran. How much were they asking for Duran?
Duran.
How much were they asking for Duran?
50 million.
Exactly. So what are we talking about?
Brewster went to Sheffield for 40 million. Like, nobody knew who Brewster was.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Hold on.
Nobody knew who Palmer was. Like, why is Eddie not worth 30 million? It makes no sense to me.
You know what? You make a lot of great points, guys. I just want to go to T quickly before I give my personal thoughts on it. But T, what's your thoughts on the whole Nketiah situation and what we're doing out there, man?
Yeah, for me, it's first of all, big up, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe to South Football Corner. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. For me, it's two things about this situation. If the difference was like 10 million, I would agree with you guys what you're saying. But the difference is only 3 million. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, is that accurate? Because I read 35 million euros is what we valued him at, and they offered 27.
Yes, but
30. I don't know.
Yeah, I read both, and I don't know what's true. But 35 is never gonna happen, and 30 is for me it's the difference is 3 million. I don't think if you really want to be serious in this market, we cannot be stingy about 3 million, in my opinion. Like I said, if the amount the difference was more significant, I would 100% agree with you guys, and I would 100% say stand your ground and keep the price the same. But the difference is only 3 million. So for me, it's not significant enough to be penny pinching right now.
So I'm reading it's 35. They were going to accept 30. They said it was 35. They will accept 30, and these guys are coming back with 27. Literally saying they're toying with us. Like it was 35. We said we'll take 30. We've taken 5 million off.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you meet us at the 30? Now you're coming to 27. And first, you came with 25. They came with 25 like a week ago. The first came with 25. And then they added 2. It's like, what are they doing? It's like, if we've come from 35 and said, okay, fine, 30 will do, right? Let's meet here. And you're coming from 20, and then you're like, oh, let's do 25. Okay, let me add 2 more this week, and let me add 3 more.
35 is crazy anyway. I think
we're in the era of PSR as well, where every dollar is accounted for, right? So in this era now, where PSR is now doing mad things, you could get duck points and all of that. 3 million could be the reason where they dock a couple points if you challenge or whatever, and you don't end up winning the league because of that 3 million. You see what I'm trying to say? So I'm thinking the way things are going now with the charges that they keep bringing on clubs during the season, docking points, things is changing, and we got to change with it, guys. Things is evolving now.
The only thing that would be frustrating for me would be, and again, this is a hypothetical. If this does happen, talk about this when the window ends. But when let's be honest and real, we all know damn well Eddie Nketiah is not worth 35 million. However, if we sold him for that, I'm clapping it. I'm saying fair play to Edu. I say fair play. However, if it comes to the end of the transfer window and we haven't got rid of Eddie because of the reason we valued him for so high, that's when it gets a little bit frustrating. But I'm not going to say that until the end of the window. And even if we buy a striker,
the reason, just to finish off my point, the reason why I say this as well is I think this guy is not 27 is jackpot for this guy. This guy is worth 20, 25 maximum for me. You know what I'm saying? The fact that
he's got a Premier League hat trick. He probably scored 19 Premier League goals in like 30 starts or something like that. It's not like he's been given a proper chance to be the man. But would you say he's worth more than ESR?
Goals in 116 games. Just to
correct games, but he had like 5 minutes in like 90% of them.
Yeah, but TK anyway, with the stats.
But like my point is,
he went to Leeds and it was a shit show. You know what I'm saying? This guy is not good.
Is he worth more than ESR, or is ESR worth more?
Yes, ESR is worth more than this guy.
ESR hasn't played. ESR literally hasn't played in like 2 years.
I do not care.
But still, he's still
But also, can we say this? Okay, go on, TK.
We can say the same thing about Willock, who was injury prone. He went to Newcastle. We loaned him, and they bought him for 30 million because they valued him at 30 million. You know what I'm saying? But we tried the same with Nketiah when he went to Leeds, but
the market determines the price, though. When you look at the striker market right now, you're buying players like Xerxes who scored 9. Xerxes who scored 9 goals. No, hold on. Let's be realistic here. We're looking at Duran from Aston Villa, who played 2.5 games. Who played 90 minutes in total last season for 40 million. Let's be realistic, guys. The market values are high for most of these strikers. And then when they come to Arsenal, you're asking us to bend over and give them 15, 20 million.
No, I'm not asking that.
Because you think
we overvalue this guy.
Hold on, because you don't value, but the market value for strikers, if Duran is 40 million, a guy who played 2 games, 2.5 games, who scored he scored one pre-assist and one other second, whatever the heck that was, that didn't look like a scrappy goal, is going for 40 million in this current market. All I'm saying is, if we don't start to stand our ground as Arsenal on the sales side,
we got to fix.
On the sales side, we're never going to fix our reputation. I get you.
I agree.
I agree with you. TK, let me just land. I agree with you. Eddie Nketiah, for me, I value him at 20 million max. Me, Dio. But I'm looking at the market, right? It's like saying you have a Mercedes-Benz. I have a Mercedes-Benz. The market is saying it's 10 million for the Mercedes-Benz. But because I'm like, my Mercedes-Benz have this little chink on the tire. I've got to step up in the market, because if you're selling for 10 million, why should I sell for less? Why should I have that bad rep? Because what's going to happen is why we're losing players like Chido Martin Obi, the youngster. What was the difference? United said we'll double your salary, and then you can come to us. The exact contract Arsenal gave him, but doubles his salary. So we
are in a specific situation.
And we're going to start.
We do not only want to sell him. We also want to bring someone in. And I think, and this is me, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think if we drag this Eddie Nketiah deal out till the end, we are not going to be able to bring in someone significant in the front line because of the fact that we want to sell this guy first and then bring someone else in. You know what I'm saying?
But that's fair enough, because if you look if you look at the deals we've done so far, Emil Smith-Rowe's deal literally covers. So we spent what 27 million on David Raya. We spent 38 million on Calafiori. On those two deals, we spent what I think that a million on that goalkeeper that we brought in from Ajax. And by the time you look at the Emil Smith-Rowe deal, that literally almost balances us by a couple million, a few millions just above, like with PSR, which means we haven't even started scraping the top of what we need to spend this season. Like literally, we literally haven't. So I'm not afraid that we don't have the money. I just think that at this stage we're trying to fix our reputation while we can still spend money, because we're in a good place financially. Yeah, and two things can live together.
Yeah,
I'm happy to see the club.
Martin,
I'm happy to see the club moving strong, but I know we have the money to spend. I don't because if you look at what we spend,
I don't think it's about the money. I think I think it's about the fact that he is here. He needs to leave for someone else to come here.
I agree with you, but
it's not even about money anymore. Bro.
If you want to move like a big club, it doesn't matter whether he leaves. Bring somebody else better than him and put him on the bench of the under 21.
If they do that,
it don't matter.
I agree. If they do that, I agree. But I don't think they will.
That's what I think is going to happen. That's actually what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, can I just make a point relevant to ESR? Like I was asking a question about whether they're the same value. We just sold ESR, and people are only saying it was for 27 million euros, and we didn't make enough money on that deal, but it was actually 27 plus 7 in realistic bonuses, which is probably like finishing top half or something. Yeah. And we've got a 10% sell-on clause in ESR's deal, which makes him potentially worth over 40 or 50 million if he gets like a good sell-on after that. I think Eddie has value in the Premier League. I think there's 3 Premier League clubs that are sniffing around. They've been sniffing around for months because he's worth more in the English market because he counts as a homegrown player. An English player, right? So I don't think we're going to get top value, but maybe he wants to go to Marseille.
And just to go with what you just said there as well. If people cast their mind back to last summer, Fulham came in for ESR. They didn't come with the right deal. They didn't come with the right package. We told them to bugger off. They came back and they came correct this time with a price or structure that the club's happy with. And now ESR is gone. So. And ESR didn't play. He didn't really play for us last season, right? And I think they're going to do the same thing with Nketiah because they're trying to fix this reputation in the market. ESR don't have to play for us, but we will stand our ground and say this is what we want for him. And when you're ready to come with the money, then come get him. West Ham, you can't bully. We tried to get money down with West Ham to get Rice. They weren't having none of it. This is West Ham. The same thing with Brighton. We got to start moving correct. Like I remember when Manchester United sold Lukaku. Lukaku was dire, absolutely dire that season. They got 75 million for that guy. How? Because they stood their ground, bro.
Yeah.
Maguire, the same like
Maguire.
Look at Leicester. Look at the way Leicester sells. You can't get their player off of them unless you come with the right with their valuation. And I think their valuation.
And I think
those days are still better than Nketiah.
No, TK.
That's not the point.
That's not the point.
It's their player. That's their value.
Can I say something real quickly? Sad, sorry, obviously. Like I think this season Arsenal is able to move this way because we see that we're financially okay. But we have enough to go and buy whoever we want to buy and be able to keep players and say, look, we don't care, because we could not do that for the last 2-3 seasons. If you look at where we are, this is our 3rd year of rollover, which means Emil Smith-Rowe is full profit, right? Full profit. Even if we do a loan deal with Nelson or whatever it is, all that money is full profit. If we do a buy-on clause, a sell-on clause with Nketiah and agree to the 27, like for example, if Marseille says, okay, 27, we agree, and we put it 40% sell-on clause, but Marseille take that. If they take that, that puts the value at what the club values him at. So my thing is, at the end of the day, we are at a position where financially we don't really have a problem with paying big money for the players he wants and even keeping these guys financially. So I think that's why we're moving this way now.
TK was that the fact that it's only 3 million makes me not worried because it makes me feel like we know that we can get better if we hold out, right? If they know that that's as close as they're going to get and they're desperate to sell Eddie, then sure, offload him 27, whatever you can get. But I feel like they've got something lined up. And it's extra frustrating for us because we want a striker to be coming in now. You know, people want to be doing the Bane kind of celebration and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I've seen that the Newcastle fans have already got a song for Guehi that they signed like 3 hours ago or something. Like everyone's like in signings mode. And if Chelsea pick up Osimhen, oh, watch the stress levels go through the roof.
I saw that.
We have a song for Calafiori already. Don't you know that?
Yeah, but that one, like, I can understand.
It better not have Maldini in it. It better not have the word Maldini in it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Just real quick. I know you quickly. I know it's in the title, but the Osimhen link's legit. Because I saw that tweet the other day, and it was like, "Oh,
there you are, fraud. There you are, fraud." Hold on.
Oh, sorry,
hold on.
I'm taking over the show. Apologies.
So the host himself wants to have a word on Nketiah, bro, but we're already moving on, bro. Connor said, "Hold on a minute. Let me get that. Let me snatch the chain. Let me snatch your chain real quick. Right, guys. So Osimhen, are the links real, or what's going on? Like, bro, what are we doing? Let me have a word, bro. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. But listen, I just think, in regards to this Nketiah situation, like, I fully understand from both sides of it. I understand that we need to keep our cards close to our chest and say, listen, we've set out a price for you. You have to hit that price. If you don't hit that price, we got somebody else that's here willing to pay. And I do believe that we do have somebody in line. If they're rejecting an offer like this, but to be honest, they rejected an offer from freaking Crystal Palace 2 seasons ago, I believe, for like 40-something million. But if we're rejecting an offer at this time for this amount, I think they've got something in the works, because we all know that there was Premier League clubs looking at him. Crystal Palace, Fulham, were looking at him. Do you know what I mean? So
Ipswich
these clubs were looking at him. Ipswich as well. We're looking at him and looking Smith Rowe as well. So these clubs are looking. Oh, hold on a minute.
Look at that.
Hold on, Glenn, is that serious? Okay, so Marseille have returned with an offer.
That's how it's done, boys.
No, you need
Plus-
to confirm it first. You need to
plus
confirm
4
it first.
million
You know what I'm saying?
euros. Let's have a look.
No,
Glenn
this
normally
guy
sends it.
can come
Glenn?
to the chat and say Ronaldinho.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Trust me, bro.
Glenn,
I
Glenn,
got guys.
hold on.
I got
Glenn,
to
Glenn
say
says
this,
it.
man. I've missed TK. I swear down.
Glenn sends it to me normally. Glenn sends it to me.
TK is the filter. He says, "Hey, stop. Go on, confirm this thing first. Do not even."
We understand what I'm sure we got.
If this is true,
I've
that's
just
got to be a
wondered.
yes. Surely that has to be a yes.
Maybe
Right?
we've got something better.
If we say no to this, I will rant the next time. You know
Of
what I'm
course.
saying?
No, see, but here's what I'm saying. Like, if
Okay.
they come with this and add-ons of 4 million and it's achievable add-ons, great. And then put a 10% sell-on clause for whatever they choose to sell in, which means your value has gone from 32 to maybe your 10% might be 8 million in the future. So that's 38, 39. So
Yeah.
Eddie left the club for 38, 39, and it's full profit. Even when
And
you get
also-
that 8 million in a couple of years, it's full profit. It's going to be counted as profit. Not
Also,
as,
if this transfer happens, people need to apologize to Aubameyang for the disrespect they gave to that guy. You know what I'm saying? Because he is the agent that convinced this guy to join
Big up.
Marseille. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So big up Aubameyang, my guy.
Big up,
You know what I'm
Aubameyang.
saying? The better number
Yeah.
14 than Nketiah. So yeah, thank you for
You-
being
Yeah.
the
You know what?
Oh, you
know what?
you
I
thanking
can't
him
lie.
already? You don't want to wait for the deal to go through TK? Come on,
If,
man.
I said if it happens. I said if it happens.
You know what? I think I don't know if I can't see this actual thing, but it
I
is a
can't
guy
say.
that
Either. I think it's
apparently there you are. There you
Put
are.
up Callie Gooner's comment there.
Apparently he's what's going on here? What's happened?
That has disappeared.
Okay, there's Dio. He's back.
I don't know.
Apparently the what's it called? I can't see the actual it doesn't have his link to his social media. The guy Paul Rady
He's
from RT Sports.
Yeah, it must be an Irish reporter.
From RT Sports. So apparently he said that Marseille have returned. Obviously, I have to wait and see from like the other journalists whether this is true. So we have to wait. But I am gonna bookmark that though, and then and I'm definitely gonna keep that there.
What would Stefan say? He would say Is this guy even a reliable
It's
source?
a bullshit source, guys.
Bullshit
But any
source.
source, unless
Good
it's
news is
Stefan's
true.
source, it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Nothing's true.
Exactly. Big up Stefan, man. But listen, as I was saying, like I can see from both sides of the spectrum. I know everybody wants to get him sold, bro. And some people are just like going crazy, like, why are we not selling him? Take whatever you can. But also some people, which I personally think is the right move to go. Sometimes you just have to say, no, we're not going to sit here and just sell because we're not going to act like Arsenal Football Club is just like a fire sale where everybody's just for grabs, bro. And the first offer we get is the one that we follow, bro. Like that's not what we're going to try to do. Do you know what I mean? We're trying to get some good offers, and I rate it. I can't lie. I rate it. I rate the fact that we're actually trying to get money and we're trying to put value on our players, because now we have to do this now to show the people, because once we get rid of these players, now you're going to be starting to talk about people who are going to come for our players. You're going to be talking about big money. You're going to be talking about 100, 120, 150. So you need to be able to manage those kind of funds. If somebody comes for Saliba, bro, you best be saying 150, 160 million on the table, bro.
250, 300, mate. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
bro. Do you know what I mean? So like that's the situation that we're in now.
$1 billion release clause just to like send out a message, you know, like they did with Mbappe.
So what you say, Sats? 80
So
million
Hooks,
release clause for Fabio
God
Vieira?
might still be answering your prayer. Hooks.
saying, huh?
You know what I mean? He's just making you wait for a minute, man. He's just making you stew on it for a minute. Yeah?
All I'm gonna say to you, listen, according to reports from my source, an undisclosed source, which I will not disclose to
Garlic
everybody
sauce,
for
yes,
his
yeah.
protection. No, it was actually spicy mayo. But anyway, apparently he's come out and said to me that Fabio Vieira is getting a new contract and they're slapping a 70 mil release clause on him, and somebody's apparently looking to buy him via that clause. Do you know what I mean? So we could be getting 70 mil.
And then we all wake up. You know what I'm saying?
The fact that Ola's actually believing me right now when I said the sauce is spicy mayo, bro. Nah. It's just bullshit. Listen, I like Fabio Vieira. They clown me about it. Do you know what I mean? But Fabio Vieira, big up the guy.
That guy got to go.
No.
Big up the guy, man. No biceps, but full of heart, man. You know what I mean? We're here for it, bro.
Get him on Goretzka's Sula's training plan, and then we'll talk. But apart from that, no.
Nah, 100%. But anyway, I guess let's go to that next. The Osimhen links, bro. The Osimhen links. Let's speak about obviously Osimhen, because Victor Gyokeres, I think we've spoken about him a bit too much. Let's actually speak about Osimhen and the reality of the situation of actually bringing him in, bro, to Arsenal. Is it realistic? I mean, at the moment, it looks like he's more closer to joining Chelsea than he is joining Arsenal. However, obviously, I don't know how that's going to work out, because from what I've heard that they have got a limit to their wages where they can only offer a max of 150k. So how are they going to pay? How are they going to pay him when he's looking for like 200k, bro? 200k plus.
He's looking for 300, I'd say. He probably wants that bump deal right now.
Yeah, around there.
Apparently, he doesn't want to go on a loan either, which I guess is an interesting thing for a player to be able to say. But I know that Conte wants Lukaku, so he's become like this horrible trading piece in a deal that just looks like the craziest transfer of all time, right?
Like leaving him out the squad and everything, bro. It's crazy. It's actually crazy.
It's actually nuts, bro.
The reason he doesn't want the loan is because last season when he wanted to leave, Napoli promised him that this season, like,
it was a big deal.
It is big. He's going to be a big deal, and he can go wherever he wants. He should stay one more season, and I mean, he agreed. He agreed to do that.
His agent gets no commission, right? If he goes on a loan, his agent's not getting like his $20 million. Yeah, and so
a lot of people like who work with him are like, man, no, ain't no way. And there's one thing that I like is like for someone like Victor Osimhen, as a Nigerian, you're like 4 people away from knowing his whole family, his whole family, his brother. I like literally, if I call one person right now, that would immediately and this will be from the horse's mouth, like him saying, So I'm not saying he said that, but last season what he did say was, he's going to stay one more season because this season was supposed to be his big move, and they're going to let him pick wherever he wanted to go. And then when they turned around and started offering him the whole loan move because of the way things were going, when nobody wanted to pay the release clause, he was like, "This was not part of our deal. I'm not doing this."
Chelsea are also signing that Samu Omorodon guy.
Who is that guy? Who?
From
I don't know,
Atleti,
bro.
I'm telling you right here, right now, they will finish below 10th next season. Chelsea are washed. They're out. They're done out. They have got 5 goalkeepers in their main squad. They're done.
Why?
They're finished.
Hold on. Why are you guys talking? If Chelsea has 45 players, what's one more? 46. It's not a big deal now. I mean,
Yeah.
You know what? I will say this, yeah. No, I will say this. I bang on about us selling players. I'm glad I'm not a Chelsea fan because I would be fuming. 45, 50 players in one squad. I'd be fuming. So
Dio, they have more players than Maresca has hair follicles. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus,
remember when we had
this is why they're signing managers, man.
This transfer,
we had that problem. We had to leave players out of our squad. Remember, we couldn't register players for bloody Europa League or something.
Odds on we sign one of these Chelsea.
Mustafi was left out of the Socrates was just like, sorry, we can't register you or something. Saliba wasn't registered for the Premier League or something. It was crazy.
Yeah, for me, Osimhen is one of those players that when you look at the way, number one, his style of play, I don't even know if that would really work for us. But then again, he's a very, very good presser of the ball, which is one of the ways. So I can see why he's being linked to us. Now, when you look at his injury records and it's not great. And this is one thing we've suffered from as a club, as a squad. It's been injuries, and it's now something that we now slowly winning ourselves away from. Because if you look at our squad last season, not many injuries or long-term injuries. So that's something that we're getting better at and getting better at managing. Now, Osimhen, for somebody that's going to cost that amount of money, number one in fees to the club and his wages, and his injury record just doesn't marry up to that amount of money. I don't want him. I do not want this guy at the club. I pray that he goes to Chelsea. I think that's where he belongs. He can go down with them, take all their money. You know what I mean? They actually had a very good Nigerian that played for them in Mikel Obi that was supposed to sign for Manchester United, but Chelsea hijacked that deal. You know what I mean? So if this guy's being linked to us,
he signed. Mikel Obi signed, and then Chelsea hijacked that deal. United, and they went behind, and he said, what's his name? Abramovich called him and sat him down, and they said, no, we'll deal with them. We'll sort it out for you. You're a Chelsea player now. Sign here. Chelsea is a mad club.
And I think there's still a little bit of that mentality in there with Chelsea. Look at what they did with Mudryk. You know what I mean? So please go and take Osimhen. Take it. I don't think he's the right player. I don't think he's the right player for what we're trying to do right now. I think there's better, and obviously you don't know what could happen to any player in football. We saw it with Timber last season. So anything can happen. But for the most part, Victor Osimhen's injury record is not great, and I just don't think it's going to be more headache than it's worth down the line. That's how I feel about it. And like you said, it's Nigeria.
I can see him actually having a really hard time at Chelsea to just live up to expectations. It kind of happens to a lot of their strikers, especially with Jackson there and Samu and whatever else. I could see it flopping, kind of like the Enzo situation, like where a player gets out of favor and then people just dump on them and then their form gets worse and then you end up like Pepe going for free somewhere to Villarreal the other day. But yeah, I think we should. I think the Gyokeres stuff is interesting. I think that there's a lot of weird rumors going around about how we have been scouting him and blah blah blah. And then today he got in a fight or something with his teammates after they threw away a 3-0 lead or something like that. They lost 4-3. So apparently he was yelling at all the other players and Amarim had to tell him to stop or something like that. So maybe there's some mentality thing there about, how we don't want Toney anymore, bull crap. I think we should just get Toney. I saw another highlight comp of him yesterday against Liverpool in one random game. And I was like, oh, Jesus. Why don't we have this guy in the team already? So.
I like Toney a lot, and it's one player that I campaigned for all of last season all windows through January. Connor, you remember, you know what I mean? We were begging for Toney, calling for Toney. We needed a striker. We've always needed a striker. And I know a lot of people say, oh, yeah, look, we scored this many goals, striker ain't the problem. Maybe if we defended this much, maybe we could have picked up points there and won the title. Yes, that might be the case. But at the same time, when you have a striker that's a difference maker in somebody like a Toney or even Alexander Isak, these guys are different makers in the way that they play, the way that they approach the game.
I have a question about Toney.
Yeah.
Why is it that every club that has been linked to Toney in the last 4 or 5 months, even before the end of last season and even to this transfer window, have all backed away from him?
Tottenham
was linked to him. They backed away from him. Manchester United were linked to him. They backed away from him. Like, the question is, why is it that every top club that he's been linked to? Because there's one thing
old,
to say.
I think it's
I
a
mean,
big risk.
There's one thing to say.
Contract,
There's one thing to say. It's Brentford. There's one thing to say. A player is very, very good, right? And every top team with people that know football who are running these clubs with scouts and coaches and managers sitting down, running their data, and just be like, nah, not for us. Like, why? Like, Tottenham are willing right now to go for Solanke for 60 million. Did you hear that? Like, they're looking at Solanke for 60 million. When Ivan Toney's price has been dropped. Remember, it's half the price.
Bro,
they were linked to Toney like 2 weeks ago.
I think we should do what we did with Raya. Try before you buy. And let's see what this business is all about. You know what I mean? If he really wants to leave the club, because it sounds like he wants to leave the club, right? So if he does want to leave the club, and that's an option, I think it's an option that's worth exploring, because for a player of Toney's caliber, and is available.
Maybe we're doing that. Maybe we're trying to wait until the end of the transfer window and get like a cut price on him. But
or maybe his contract. He only has 1 year.
I think he's an asset that's over 28 years old. Like Edu was saying, once you've got someone that's over 26, 27, if they lose form for whatever reason, that they're dead. You don't see that money again. I think you see a lot of clubs buying younger and younger because they know that they'll get more money later. You don't buy a guy for 80 million that's not going to be worth anything in like 2 or 3 years, perhaps. So I think that's why the clubs are staying away.
Maybe age, you're right, Martin. That could be one of the factors. But my point is, who would not want to take the risk on? I think I've come to terms with the fact that maybe I'm wrong about Ivan Toney. I think I honestly feel like maybe I have overrated him in my own eyes. Now, you're right, age is one of the factors, but I think that these people know who suits what they want. For clubs that could get him for half the price not to get him, and then go look at someone like Solanke for 60 million, like that at that point,
Toney has something that
at that point my brain is
don't have. I haven't seen a player like Toney who it's not that his physical strength is good, or he's like, you know, he's tall and he's good at heading and shooting, all that kind of stuff, but the way he reads a situation and turns it into something dangerous from a complete like long ball. He can do like a back heel through ball to Mbeumo at 60 k's an hour. It's like he thinks in a way which is not normal. And in these big game situations, we need a player that's going to make something out of nothing. And I think it's ridiculous.
I hear you, Martin, but nobody's answered this question. Why is all the big clubs that he's linked with again? Yeah. Why have they backed away? Like, I hear you, Martin. I like Ivan Toney. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Ivan Toney doesn't suit us. I like Ivan Toney. I think he's an amazing and a phenomenal player. I think he's a difference maker. He knows how to get things done. Look at when he played against us. From the halfway line, he looked up. That ball could have been in the back of the net. I was like, only Ivan Toney is going to take such a stupid risk, and sometimes and we'll probably get it, right? But my question, what really scares me and trips me out, like the transfer window, every big club that has been linked to him, after having a week or two of talking to him, they're like, no, we're going to look at somebody else.
Maybe he's the one that's saying, I don't want to go to your crap club, Tottenham. Stop calling me. You know, that kind of thing. Like it's a.
What about Manchester United? They were looking at him and then they went for Xerxes. Like it went from.
Man United are kind of broken right now. I mean, Toney thinks he's at Real Madrid, so I don't know. I think he's waiting for the right deal.
Maybe he's waiting for the right deal, or maybe there's just something about him that is making all these other big clubs just back away from him.
Or
if he's saying he's an asshole secretly, like. That's not a problem.
Maybe people don't want to spend 40-50 million for a 28-year-old who has only
Who
1
has
year
1
left
year
on
on
his
his
contract.
contract and will come and ask for
The difference
200K
between
week.
him and Solanke is the fact that Solanke has a contract until 2027, so he still has 3 years. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. That's the difference.
And I think Solanke is younger as well. Slightly
I think the way the clubs see it is they don't see Ivan Toney as like the guy that comes to my club and begins to score all the goals and he's going to be the main striker. I think people are just waiting until his contract runs out, and then the first club that can get them will get them on a free. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see the situation. If I think about it logically, because a player's personality should not be the reason why clubs are not going for a player. You know what I'm saying? One of the best players. Some of the best players in the world are the biggest assholes, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I don't think that's a logical reason for clubs. If that's the reason, the only thing I would the PSR stuff and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Maybe clubs just do not want to pay 50 million for a guy.
TK, I agree with you. I mean, I don't think it's his attitude, but I'm just that's why I threw the question out, like, what could it be that all these big clubs are looking at you and then suddenly they just pull away? Like, what could be the reason? I mean, outside the regular contract terms, 1 year, outside the things that we know, which are logical, which I agree with you is a big reason. If I ran a club, I wouldn't want to sign a 28-year-old with 1 year left on his contract who would be on big wages and for 50 million and then show up and then still have an attitude in my locker room. Because if he balls out and we win the league, good on him. If he flops at 28, 29, we're going to attribute it to age and we just wasted 50 million. So I get that logic, but I'm just like, if that's the reason, it's just sad. Because think about it, for someone like him who came into the Prem late, I just think that he's very unlucky, and that's why clubs are not touching him right now. So
the one thing for me when I look at the situation, I'm gonna quickly speak and I'm gonna go to Hooks because I want to hear what he has to say. And Connor,
Brody's sitting there like this the whole time.
Like Connor and Hooks haven't said much, bro. So I need to go to them as well. But I just think in regards to like Toney and Gyokeres and Osimhen, I like the fact that there's multiple strikers that we're linked with, and we're looking at different options. We're not looking at one option. We're just sitting there solely just focused on one option. And if it doesn't work out, we're stuck there. Do you know what I mean? With nothing else to fall back on. We've got multiple options that we can fall back on. We can have a look at what we can weigh out the options. What are the pros? What are the cons for certain players? And then we can really make our decision. And I think that's something that we have to look at and say, yeah, fair enough. I mean, Toney, I'd love him to come to the club. Osimhen, yes, he's got the injury record, but I think his skill speaks for itself. Do you know what I mean? I think he's made for the Premier League. Although he's got the injury issues, he has got attributes that make him very good as a Premier League player. Also, Gyokeres, as we said, obviously with his experience in English football, he's played in for Coventry and done what he done for Sporting. Who else are we linked to?
Gyokeres or Gyokeres? I thought you said the tennis player.
I listen. Do you know what? Djokovic. Like, you know what? Listen, I can't lie. I go through like every day. I change it, bro. Every day I pronounce his name a different way. One day it's Gyokeres. One day it's Gyokeres. One day it's Gyokeres. You know
Which one is it? Which one is? How do you actually pronounce
Gyokeres?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I think Gyokeres.
Yeah, Gyokeres is the one, bro.
I'm not even gonna bullshit. I'm not gonna bullshit. I actually do the same thing with Dio. I say one day I say Dio, one day I say Dio. It's either or. It's either Dio or Dio. I go back and forth. So,
let's see what Hooks has to say.
If I'm correct, I think it is Dayo, isn't it? It's Dayo.
Dayo.
I think it's Dayo.
Dayo.
It's actually Dayo.
You have to put Dayo in it.
It's Dayo, aka the Undertaker.
You have to speak with the salt on it.
Yeah. But Hooks, what's your thoughts on the whole striker situation? Osimhen, Toney. What's your thoughts on it, bro?
We need to get that idiot out of the club first, innit? Be under no illusion. Under no illusion, Arsenal fans. We will not be signing no Gyokeres, no Osimhen, God forbid, no Toney, no Neto, no Williams, if this idiot stays at the club. Simple. It is what it is. Now, if we want to talk about who should come, I don't mind Gyokeres or Osimhen, innit? For me, man already know Gyokeres been like man. Gyokeres was my main target above all else we could potentially sign anywhere in any position. And I can't lie, it's quite annoying that it's taken this long to really lock down the position that I think a lot of Arsenal fans would argue is the highest priority in the Arsenal squad right now. Like I can be swaying to potentially hearing maybe if we go for like a super high-end winger, cool. I could have lived with that in it because maybe that high-end winger could be more clinical than the striking options that we have right now in it. But I think if everyone was to like, cool, let's just be unbiased and whatever we like or don't like, we need a striker in it. So the fact that it's like August now, the Premier League is starting in just under 2 weeks, and we don't have. Well, it's not even that we don't have a striker. I don't feel like we're close to having a striker. Like
we've got Kai Havertz, right?
You don't need to tell me, bro.
What's going on there, bro? You're catching him out there, Martin. We got Havertz, bro. Why are you after a striker?
Why are you trying to replace Kai Havertz?
No, it's not to replace Kai Havertz. Like even though my love for Kai Havertz is unrivaled.
He got you there. He got you there.
No, but
hook, line, and sinker, brother. You know?
I do believe that we need a different profile. Because I've been saying this for a while. Like Havertz and Jesus are too similar a profile. The only difference is Havertz does the hold up. Like, because he's tall, he's big, we can do the target man thing with him. But they're both, realistically, they're both false nines. They're both people that bring in other people, opposed to, okay, I'm around the box, let me just shoot it. Like, and that's what we need. We need someone that whatever position that they're in and around the 18-yard box, they can just take one touch and rifle it. Because then now teams have another problem. Right now, I don't feel like teams have that problem when it comes to Arsenal, because what we like to do is die by a million passes, isn't it? So we need someone that just provides a different option. And Gyokeres or Osimhen.
Are you saying that person should be a starter over Kai Havertz, or that there should be no starter, or that
I don't even think that, like, for me, and I get sued for this all the time, yeah. But for me, like, it's clear now. Well, I mean, it should be clear now that we prepare for the team that we're facing. So it's very hard for me to say starter, because Arteta may feel that, okay, we're playing Wolves, first game of the season. Let's just say we had Gyokeres in the team. He's like, you know what? I actually feel like Havertz would be better to go up top than Gyokeres in this game. So then Havertz will play up top. Like, that just is what it is. Like, so it's very hard for me to say starter, because I don't feel like
that's a problem selling that to the strikers that we're talking to, because
I don't think
a lot of those guys will want to be like coming in, they want to have their bed made for them and say, here you go, you're starting every game. I want you to take us to the Champions League and the Premier League. Or do you think that we have to find someone that's at a level?
Trust me, once we get an out-and-out striker in this team and they actually finally see what we were missing in the front line, he will. That striker that will come into this club will start consistently over Havertz and Jesus. Havertz and Jesus.
TK, I agree with you. TK, I agree with you.
Just to finish.
Finish.
If you compare it, for example, Gyokeres to Havertz and Jesus, yeah, Havertz and Jesus bring other qualities that Gyokeres doesn't have, which is in other positions. Okay, so you can play Jesus, for example, if you want to rest Saka, you play him right wing. Alas, you know what I'm saying? It's that simple. You can still play these players, but if you bring in someone like Gyokeres into this club that guarantees you 25, 30 goals, you know what I'm saying? Bro, that's the one thing that we miss in this front line, and that is someone with venom, someone who is only there to score goals instead of doing all the other stuff like Havertz and Jesus does. That's why I think someone like Gyokeres is perfect. I would even take Osimhen, even though I do not agree with the price. I do not agree with the fact that he gets injured a lot. So I would rather go for someone like Gyokeres. But either or, I would want an out-and-out striker into this team, because we miss that. That's the only thing we missed.
So TK,
I think we all agree, right?
I agree with you 100%. What I wanted to address was this. I know that we need an out-and-out striker. but I wanted to address a few things. Last season, Arsenal scored 90 goals in the Premiership and 120 goals across all competitions, right? So goal scoring, putting the ball in the back of the, even though we had that period where we scored multiple goals, I get it. People are going to put it down to that period. A lot of goals were scored, but it's not as if from the beginning of the season we weren't scoring. We were winning our games. We lost a couple of games before December. We only lost about 2 games before December. It wasn't like we drew. I think we drew 1 and lost 2. Yeah. So putting the ball in the back of the net was not a problem because we could score from different ways. Set pieces, we had the highest. Our defense contributed 15 goals over the season. Defenders
in certain games.
I don't know where I'm going to it is I'm saying that because we know putting the ball in the back of the net was not the problem. The fine margins between getting 89 points and getting 94 points, whatever striker we need to get, I'm happy for us to take our time and let that striker come in, even if it's on the last day or the last week of the window. The reason is this: we still have a team that can score and win, and we integrate that striker as we need to integrate him as he comes in. Right? He can hit the ground, and we can still integrate because our team knows how to score from different ways. We're not lacking in that department of putting the ball in the back of the net. What we're lacking in is that one person that is just a clinical finisher or can just carry, the team on his head when we need goals, like against the Aston Villas or the Fulhams, right? Or the West Ham game. And that's where we need that kind of person in those type of games. But generally across the board, we're okay to, like, let's assume the season had started already and we still had the window open till the August season started in, let's say, July. I don't think we'll be lacking right now to the point where we're like, because what I don't want us to do is look at what happened with Jurriën Timber. It was unfortunate, but we go get a top striker, and it can happen to anybody. It can even happen to Havertz beginning and his
that's the risk of the business, bro.
Yeah, that's the risk, which is why I'm saying, like, someone like Victor Osimhen with his injury record, or certain players that you're like, all right, no, let's drill it down to the one striker who availability is the best ability. As long as this guy is that poacher type striker that can put the ball in the back of the net, his injury record is lower. I would rather go for such a striker, and we all agree. We need somebody. So that's
never got injured before this surgery.
Yeah, I just listen. I want to move on to the final topic that we need to speak about.
Where's my say, sir?
You went to the toilet.
Have you not? Have you not?
I was actually thinking that.
Sorry. Go ahead, quickly, bro.
What are we talking about? Gyokeres.
Striker situation.
Are we talking about who we want in general,
or just your thoughts on the strikers?
It needs to happen. It needs to happen because listen, and I love this. This happens whenever whoever I talk to nowadays. It's like, Connor, why do you want a striker? We scored 91 goals last season, which was fantastic. I loved it. All the team was getting involved. I said, do you know what? Fair play. But then I asked the question, which hurts a load of Arsenal fans. Where were those 91 goals when we needed them against Villa, Newcastle? One of those games we would have won. And yes, in another reality, one of the players could have scored. Havertz could have scored a winning goal. Saka, dare I say it, Nketiah off the bench. But I feel like
Daniel would tell you we could have defended better.
And that's another thing, we could have defended better too. But then again, we had a great defensive record last season as well.
Yeah, because if you think about it, we literally lost the season last year, the league last year, to Manchester City by 2 games.
I understand that.
Like, we had 5. Hold on, we had 5 losses, five draws. City had 3 losses, 7 draws. If we had 3 losses and 7 draws, we had a better goal difference. We won the league last season. So I said we didn't. What I'm saying, Hooks. I agree. We did not. I am saying on both ends of the spectrum, we need a striker, and we could also have defended better. If we defended better and did not lose those games, we've got
Calafiori. We've got Calafiori. So there's that sorted. But in my opinion, I feel like. And it's a bit of a bold statement again because of the amount of goals we scored last season. But every team who wins, they have their talisman. And yes, we've got multiple of those. We do. We've got goal scorers in the team. But it was like when we had Aubameyang. Every game I was like, Aubameyang's going to score. Aubameyang's going to score. Aubameyang is going to score because he's our main man up top. I even though I wasn't alive, but I bet people went to
even Henry, you knew guaranteed it was a goal, bro. Guaranteed, Henry. Yeah, Henry's gonna score today.
We can go ahead and say
always had someone. We had Sanchez, we had Anelka as well. We always had one, bro.
We have
Percy.
But I want to be very clear. We have the player where we're like, maybe Saka will score today, maybe Trossard will score today. But look what I'm saying, maybe. You look at Man City, Haaland's going to score today. This team might not, but they're going to walk into that game saying Haaland's going to score today. Real Madrid, they've now got the likes of Mbappe. Mbappe's going to probably score today. So I think Arsenal need that player, and honestly, I think to win a league title, and not just to win one, I think to win them consistently, you need that bad boy number 9 up top. And listen, I want to make it clear before I get absolutely done on by all the Havertz lovers. And I'm maybe slowly turning into one. We'll wait and see what he does next season.
Slow down.
No. Let me land, and then you can have a go at me for about the Havertz stuff.
This is interesting.
I'm saying, listen,
Havertz,
29. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Havertz has done his role last season. He done better than I thought he would. And listen, if we're getting a striker, I don't know what's going to happen to him, but it's the way the cookie crumbles. But I think we need that talisman. We need that 9, whoever it may be. And I genuinely believe if we do carry on our form of what we did last season, I think we can win the league. And I think I'd be way more confident. I would. That number 9 is just screaming for it. It's quite ironic that we've sold Cedric. Ivan Toney's number is number 17. Kind of makes sense. But, we've now got number 10 available. So, we just, in my opinion, we need that striker. And I just don't think I'll be as confident. Even if we look at the Champions League, fellas, we really struggled on away days when we needed that goal, especially against Bayern Munich as well and Porto. You need that guy who's going to step up.
90 goals will not save you in those games. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, we're not going to get.
Yeah, it won't.
No one buys a striker unless you're buying Haaland or Mbappe, who's going to guarantee 30 goals. I mean,
that's also why in some of those games, just make sure that you just don't lose the game. Like that's what City did. Listen, if you look at and I say this again, City won 28 games last season. We won 28 games last season. People need to understand that we won the same exact number of games. They drew 7 and lost only 3. So like I'm saying, I agree with you. I'm 100% on board. We need a striker up front. But on the days when even that striker is off and he's not carrying the team and we don't score in that game, we should have defenders, which is why I'm happy with Calafiori, like bolstering up the defense. We should have defenders that when we bring them in, we are not conceding to Aston Villa in the last 20 minutes. We're taking 1 point and walking away from it. Like that's the way I look at it as well. So on both ends of the spectrum, it has to be strong. Because sometimes you have days where your strikers Haaland had about 4 or 5 games last season where he wasn't popping off. Yes or no? We all saw it. The great Haaland that scored 40-something goals the season before had about a streak of almost 4, 5, 6 games where he wasn't scoring. Where City was struggling.
Like 11 or something like that.
Yeah, City was struggling to win games by 1-0.
They won the league.
I saw somewhere today.
Hooks, I hear you. But in the games where they did not score, City did not allow themselves to be scored against, is what I'm saying. They won the league because they drew 2 extra games than us. That's the reason they won the league.
Yes, they won the league.
If we defended with our heart, listen, because there was times when their strikers were not scoring too. They drew games. City was not.
But the difference is,
that's what I'm saying.
The difference is one is a weakened City side, and the other one is an Arsenal team who is the best team in the last 20 years, according to some fans. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference.
All I care about is
you're getting off track.
All I care about is if we have strikers up front in games where the strikers are not scoring, because we've seen this happen, is what I'm saying. Look, that's not.
We all want a striker, right? Everyone wants a striker.
We all want a striker. I'm just bolstering it by saying a striker up front does not guarantee that he's going to score every single game.
We know this.
Which is why I'm saying. Which is why I've agreed that we need a striker. We've all agreed on that, Hooks. So we're bolstering the conversation, and I'm saying we shouldn't forget that we also need to be strong defensively in games where our striker.
I've got a question for everyone, right? Why did Shido Obi, the under 16 goal scoring machine, look at Arsenal and go, "There's no room for me there," because I'm seeing a situation where maybe he heard that we're signing someone and he knows that he's not going to get a chance. Right now, we've got Havertz and Jesus, and it's perfect.
United 30K for a 16-year-old, bro?
I think that he knows that we've got someone big coming through that's going to block his pathway, and he's not going to get the minutes he wants. Because he wouldn't look at Man United and go, "Yeah, this is going to be way easier with Højlund and Xerxes." And
was he getting minutes before? Was he getting minutes before in the academy? Was he getting minutes before? Like, can anyone confirm whether he was getting minutes in the academy before?
He was playing for the under.
He was playing for the under 18s as a.
He was playing for the under 18s
as a 16-year-old.
Yeah, but he never played
and
for the
he
under
scored
21.
like 24 goals in 17 appearances.
Yeah, but the point is, he never even played with the senior team, so it wasn't a pathway thing.
Is it?
He went there for the money. Is that
Why
clear?
would he look at us and go like?
Is the under 18s like?
Because of
Isn't it
the
something?
cutting.
Isn't it something that you can't midway through the season? You can't just put somebody into the under 21s. I swear.
It's
Is there not
because of the
something like that?
It was because of the plan that we laid. Apparently, what Arteta wanted to do was next season have him with the under 18s, and then the season after have him with the under 21s, and then move him into the first team. Whereas he wants to look at being put into the in and around the first
directly
a lot quicker than what Arsenal was willing to do. So I don't know if it directly correlates to us bringing in.
I mean, I don't blame him.
I'm just reading between the lines. I just feel like he should have looked at this situation and gone like, "This is going to be me."
The 30K a week does help. It does. But the thing is, he got offered that 30K a week after he had already rejected our offer. So I don't think there's any real correlation between him rejecting.
I don't think that's
he rejected our 15K offer because Bayern also offered him 15K, and he was looking at Bayern. His mom and I think his dad something. Yeah, they did go to Bayern. They actually did go to Bayern and check as well. But then as soon as United heard that he had rejected the offer, they basically just doubled the salary, and nobody was willing to match that. Nobody was going to match 30K.
It was best for your family, man. I've been saying that these players are mercenaries. I don't know how many times I've been saying to anyone that will listen, these players are trained mercenaries, bro. And when they're ready to go, they will leave and they won't even look back. They won't even remember that the club did something for them. You know what I mean? And that's why it's always got to look after their own interest rather than
Henry remembered.
But you're talking about club legends, bro.
It's a bit different.
Yeah. But listen, I want to.
But we didn't want him back. He remembered.
Yeah, listen, he went to Chelsea anyway, so it's all good, man. Big up to Fabregas anyway, man. But listen, I just want to move on to just a quick final thought. I just wanted to go over the quick news. Obviously, I don't think we've got time to really discuss it because I wanted to. I'm going to wrap up now, but I just want to get T's quick thoughts because nobody else here watches Yilmaz, bro. So he's the only one who really watches him week in, week out, bro. So he'll be able to give us the best thing. So just quickly, T, what's your thoughts on Yilmaz? The links to him, for him to Arsenal.
I will give you guys a short description before I give my thoughts about it. This guy is a player who has improved immensely in the last 1 or 2 years. Not only when it comes to his footballing ability, but also his physique. Bro, this guy went from a shrimp. I'm talking about Fabio Vieira to Goretzka levels of physique. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Without the bald spot. So yeah, it's one of them, bro. It's not steroids. It's Turkish food. It's the difference. You know what I'm saying? But all jokes aside, I think this guy, bro, is a quality player. But when it comes to his choices, he's still a really, really raw and undecisive player. The decision making he did, you saw glimpses of it at Turkey. He was one-on-one and he did stupid stuff at the end that cost us a goal. You know what I'm saying? For Turkey. And at Galatasaray, he does the same. Sometimes you see moments of brilliance and they call him the Turkish Mbappe, runs off the wing and then he's faster than everyone, stronger than everyone. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the final third and his decision making, nothing.
Sounds like Adama Traore out here, bro.
Yes, almost the same. Yeah, almost the same. But Barış Alper Yilmaz, I think for 20 million is a decent price. But I don't think this guy is the player that we need. I don't think this guy is good enough to play in the Premier League right now. Not for us. Maybe for a Wolves team as a replacement for Neto, for example. That could possibly work. But I don't think. I don't think this guy would be a good pick for Arsenal and the goals that we want to achieve, which is major honors. I don't think this guy could be a big contributor.
Not even a rotation for Saka.
I think, you know what I'm saying? No. I would rather rotate Jesus with Saka and Barış Alper Yilmaz. If he comes to Arsenal, trust me, guys, I won't be surprised if this guy ends up playing right back because this guy can play everywhere. Left wing, number 10, striker, right wing, right back. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is, as a right back, he's better because of the fact that he has less responsibility than a right winger who needs to make smarter choices. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. So all in all, 20 million, not a bad price. This guy decision making is really raw, but he did improve immensely when it comes to the last 2 years. Went from Fabio Vieira to Goretzka without the bald spot, and actually improved in footballing abilities as well. So I wouldn't be mad per se, but I wouldn't understand it because this is not a player that we need right now. That's how I see it.
Yeah,
there's weird stuff going on with the wingers right now. Like, was it Xavi Simons has agreed to go on Leipzig loan again from PSG? Like, Olise's gone to Bayern where they've already got like a bunch of wingers. There's almost no wingers. I think you got quizzed about this on the terrace side, and you were like, what 3 wingers are there out there? And you're like, Neto, Rafinha. Who else did you say?
Neto, Rafinha, and Leon Bailey. Apparently, the Leon Bailey one is
the driest markets out
nobody
there.
Nobody likes the Leon Bailey. Apparently, I get a lot of dirty looks when I mention Leon Bailey.
I think the top winger is just about whether Villa is going to be prepared to sell him or not. You know what I mean? I think it's a top. Yeah. It's a very good winger still.
Yeah. Well, just quickly, just to end off, but Martin does bring up a good point, and listen, we actually need to discuss that on the next one. That the winger market is actually dry, bro. Sahara Desert, bro. I'm talking, it's dry, bro. There's not a lot of talent right now. The striker market and the winger market, which surprisingly, why is it always Arsenal when they want to look at somewhere, when they want to look at positions to fill? The market goes dead. You know what I mean? It is where it is, bro.
Everyone closes their doors.
Bro, we draw the short straw every single time. But just to quickly go over this one as well. We've according to Inter timeline, this week Inter de Porto, Algre. I don't know how you say the name, but big up to the club anyway. Apparently, they will receive a proposal of 25 million euros plus bonuses from Arsenal for the transfer of Gabriel Carvalho, 16-year-old Brazilian. Had a look at the player, and listen, he's basically an attacking midfielder / second striker, so he can play as a second striker as well. But I think they're just trying to bring him in as a youth product.
Okay, so I was going to say he's not going to be a first teamer, is he? Because
he's 16. He's 16.
He's probably the player we just lost to United.
I was going to say, because if he was a first teamer, that would probably shut down the Miko Merino links, because he'd probably be the midfielder to replace Smith Rowe. And then
he's not. He's going to. You do realize that every transfer season, the youth academy also has a budget to bring in players.
Yeah. That's what Tommy said before.
Yeah, that's right. So they do that as well. There's a large budget to bring in players into the academy as the reason to, because if the guy does well in the next 2 years, I mean, somebody else wants to buy him from us as an academy player, you're welcome. Bring 40 million and then you're out the door. I mean, if you look at what City has been doing look at Palmer. How many games did he get in the first team to be sold for 45 million to Chelsea? Like, that's the kind of thing you want to do, you know. So
So he scored 1 goal against us. That decided his price.
His rates. Yeah. Hey, look, that's what I'm saying. See, when you see ticket, that's all I'm saying. Like, if we move like that and financially we're stable, I don't care if we have 20 dead players on the roster that are not playing. I don't care, as long as we can't register them for that season. Let them be there. It doesn't bother me. And if they're homegrown players, I know that whenever they leave the door, it's 100% revenue profit for the club.
This guy's definitely gonna be homegrown.
He's gonna be homegrown.
This guy wearing the number 14, bro. I'm just sick of
no, bro. Is it time to retire the shirt?
Retire the shirt.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is it time to retire that number?
Yeah.
Should we just retire the number? Nobody wears the number 14.
Bro, do the NBA thing and just put it on the.
Did I see Nwaneri wearing the 10 in training photos or something?
No.
Ethan?
No. That's not happening. That's not happening. That is not happening.
Bro? If Nwaneri gets the number 10,
bro, I'm done. I'm actually done with this.
I'm actually
done.
because that number is perfectly in line. That number is perfectly in line to drop at Martin Odegaard's feet, and he takes it, picks it up.
What about Odegaard being the 8?
Martin Odegaard needs the 10.
Give Merino
He needs
the 8.
the number
Martin
10,
Odegaard himself likes the number 8. All his
Yeah, he
interviews,
chose the 8, didn't he?
the guy said, I
chose
chose
the
the 8. Martin
chose the 8.
Odegaard,
No,
and then
no,
you
no.
and then
He
you want
just
to
said
force
that
Bro,
'cause
he
Odo
chose the
was
8.
there.
This is the
He chose
funniest
the
thing.
Listen,
This is the funniest
I'm
thing.
gonna go to
This is
Sober Realty Center, mate. Yeah, training
Stop,
center,
stop.
and
Listen,
I'm gonna tell him
you
you
cannot
need
tell-
to take the 10,
you
brother.
cannot tell
You are a 10.
There's a reason why people choose numbers like that for themselves. It might be a sentimental thing for that kid. Maybe remember when he was young, when he was 15, and they're calling him Wonder Kid, and they were shipping him around to all the different clubs before he went to Madrid, and they're giving him some weird numbers. And I remember, like, there's a video clip I saw someone saying, like, he had mentioned that he liked the number 8. So he chose that number. It wasn't a case of,
I didn't know that.
8. Yeah, he chose 8.
Yeah.
It's not
If he chose
I
that, I
actually
didn't
heard
know
it.
that.
I actually heard
I
him
thought he was
saying
just
some
giving it.
kind of interview.
I'm sure it's just bullshit, so ESR doesn't feel bad or whatever, right? Like he's just telling people what they want to hear. He wants the 10. Anyone that's a really good player should have the 10. And Mudrik's got the 10. Bellingham's got the 10. Like the 10 needs to be respected.
Yeah, nobody's saying nobody, but some players listen. But some players listen, Martin. You can say that, right? But you're not in his brain, and you don't know why he chose the 8. Is what I'm saying. If he said he chose the 8,
I know that deep down he's a half flick. He's a 10.
Yeah.
He thinks of himself as a 10. He's not an 8. He's
Like,
not.
yeah. He's not saying he's an 8.
Man.
He's not saying he's an 8. He's saying he likes that number. That could be the
I
date.
don't believe him.
Could be the
Maybe he does number 8 on the side. You know what I'm saying?
could be the birthday of his mom. Could be his mom's birthday. Could be the date his grandma passed away.
You
Could
don't
be
need
the
to
date
defend
of-
this
you
one
never
day.
know.
It was just a joke. It was a joke.
I
But
know,
like,
I know. I'm just saying, like, let's not start hammering our captain about the number on his jersey. Because
buy Gyokeres, give him the number 10. Khalas.
Yes, give
No.
Gyokeres
No,
the
I
number 10.
think he'll get.
bullshit.
Do you know
Give him the
what I
number
think? Do you know what I think would happen?
I agree with you, TK.
If we sign
Gyokeres number 10.
Yeah.
You know what I think will happen? If we sign a striker, I think that Jesus will take the number 10. If we sign a striker, I think Jesus will take the number 10 and the striker will take the number 9. If it's Gyokeres, if it's Osimhen, I think they'll take the number 9. He will take the number 10.
Give them the number 10.
Generally, I think if we get a striker, I think that will happen.
Anyone that wants to wear a number 10 for one of these PL clubs should be forced to do like a technical level test or something like that before you can really like wear it.
A physical evaluation of his technical ability, bro. Does he hit the marks? No, he didn't make it, bro. He didn't make it. Take the shirt away.
You know what?
Sorry,
My like, if I ever got to play professional football, the number that I would have loved to have picked, right, would have been number 19. But after we bought Nicolas Pepe and he flopped, I will never wear that number again.
Hey,
Like that was the number that
Nicolas Pepe, man.
that was the number. That was the number that I always wanted to wear, right from secondary school. I was like,
Hey.
number
Bro,
19,
we have
number-
Trossard now.
You know
much
what?
better.
I
You know
mean,
what I'm
I know. I like look. See, Trossard has restored hope in that number for me. But I'm like, when we bought Nicolas Pepe, I still have a Nigerian jersey. I can go pull it out right now. That has number 19 on it. I don't wear it no more. I retired it with Nicolas Pepe.
Yeah.
Like, you.
So can I
I
just
listen-
Big up to Pepe, by the way. Villarreal.
Yeah, big up to Pepe.
Yeah, he got
Can I
cooked
just
in
suggest
Turkey.
for a
bro.
show,
Everyone hates him in Turkey.
But respect
shit,
him though.
bro.
He did come out
Go
and say
ahead.
the Arsenal fans like the ones that backed me. They were like the ones that really.
Can we do a evaluation show where we look at every signing that Arteta's done and put them in like the worth it or not category or something
I'd love
like
to
that?
do
You know
that.
what?
I would absolutely love to do that because I'll shame all of them.
I want to see how it plays
we'll
out. I
do
want to see
that.
how it plays out.
Bro, that's gonna be a huge
100%
discussion.
do that.
That's all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah,
That's
it doesn't
gonna
have
be
to be in, like,
a mad
tiers.
one. No, we're gonna have to
Good
do
or bad?
tiers now. We have to do tiers.
Thumbs up with it.
Good,
Yeah, Connor needs
bad,
to pull up the tier list again.
amazing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have
Oh,
to do
so
good,
more.
bad, amazing.
No, I just want like value for money.
Never-
or shit.
never-
Like,
I'm trying to forget. I'm trying to forget you ever joined the club. Those are the tiers. But anyway, listen, big
Zinchenko.
up-
Yes. Just-
yeah, well, I'm trying to forget it, bro. But
no
anyway,
caps lock, right? No caps lock.
big up, big up to everybody who has tuned in, but big up to everybody who has joined us for today's episode of the Gooner Lounge. Big ups to Ola, big up to Connor, big up to Hooks, big up to T, big up to Martin, and big up to Dio.
Please.
Sorry,
Hooks, you good there?
Dio. I tried to
Hooks, you
pronounce
good?
it properly. Hooks is bored, bro.
Have you got
Hooks is done,
what's in your
bro.
mouth, bro?
Yeah, man.
He's having the taste
What's
of
up,
Friday. You know what
Hooks?
I'm saying?
Hooks, what have you been watching this whole time on the stream? You've been watching TV.
I think it's
No,
infographic show.
What's
He's
more
watching an
interesting
infographic
than the
show.
Gooner Lounge? What's more interesting than the because I saw you watching Never a Foul earlier. What's more
No,
interesting than
bro.
Yeah, you were.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you were at the start of the stream. You're watching Never a Foul.
I had it on to give because I got my light off. So wait, what? Look, what was it? I turned the TV off. You see, it's dark in it, so I use it for.
Wait, hold on. Why are you flexing on us with that TV? Why is the TV?
Look at this.
Look at TV. Look at the TV. What's going on, bro? This guy's living in Iron Man times, bro. What's going on?
You man brought up the TV, not me.
There's no need to flex on us, though. There's no need to flex on us like that, bro. Okay, we're paupers, bro. Relax. Yeah, let us alone, man. Anyway, listen, big out to everybody who is tuned in. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel and subscribing to everybody in here. I'm going to put their channels in the description, so make sure to go over there and subscribe to them as well. I will see you on the next one. I'm going to send you over to Footy Judge Mo. Make sure to go over there and spam Sard Raid or say Mo is a fraud, whichever you prefer. Make sure to get that done, people. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Love for